Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another special edition Wednesday night with Trip for Two Australia. Today's episode is all about our YouTube channel. So it's about how we create the video and how we edit it and how we present it to you every week. So go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up, and let's go and have a look at how we do it all. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? Alright, so as I said in the intro, tonight's episode is all about how we make our YouTube videos for YouTube. We get a lot of questions from people either online or that we meet in person who ask us about the sort of camera gear that we use and what sort of editing software that we do and all of those sorts of things. So we thought we'll put together a quick 5 to 10 minute episode and show you exactly how we do it. So when Alison and I decided that we're going to do a big lap of Australia, she said to me, I'm going to run a little business out of the van. So she started her small bookkeeping business that you've seen her do on the channel before. And she asked me, what are you going to do to keep yourself amused? And I said, I'm not quite sure. And then I thought, why don't I have a crack at YouTubing? So I spoke to her about that and we decided, yep, that's something that we would both agree to do because we're both going to appear on the camera. So we've both got to agree to do it. And so I started to do a bit of research on how I would go about starting, what sort of gear I might need, all of those sorts of things when you're first starting out your YouTube journey. And I jumped online, I watched stacks and stacks of videos on camera gear and software editing gear and all that sort of stuff. And the first thing I saw is that most people had outlaid somewhere like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to get all of these things that they needed to run their YouTube channel. And I straight away thought, well, I haven't even had a view on the channel yet, so how am I ever going to run a channel spending that amount of money? And for a couple of things, we never had the money, Alison wouldn't give me the money, and she'd never approved the purchase, and I didn't want to spend that sort of money. So we thought we'll keep it pretty simple. Let's start out with some very basic gear and build upon that. And that's exactly what we did. But here's the kicker. All the gear that we bought then, we still use today. So first up, let's have a look at the gear that Ali and I use to produce the YouTube videos that we make each week for you guys to enjoy. We'll start out with the cameras that we use, so we keep it really simple. We have two GoPros. This is the GoPro 8. This is what we started doing our videos with, but we were able to save enough money to buy the GoPro 11 that Alison's actually filming this video with at the moment, but I'll cut in some pictures of what it looks like. This camera you'd be familiar with today. It's the one that we use to do the shots through the center of our windscreen when we're driving down the highway, or more recently you would have seen some underwater shots that we do. And with that, we have a waterproof case that that camera lives in when we do the underwater stuff. And of course, I'll cut in pictures of all the things that we do here. The other camera that we use, besides the two GoPros, is my iPhone. And that's probably as simple as you can get to start a YouTube channel. If you wanted to start a YouTube channel, you didn't want to have any expenditure whatsoever, but you've got a phone in your back pocket, you've got access to the internet and a YouTube account, you can start tomorrow. It's really that simple. You'll need a little bit of editing software, but I'll talk to you about that soon. All right, some other accessories that we use with the GoPros is we have a number of different handles that we use. So we have a tripod type handle. This one's called the Shorty. This is great for when we want to do like still shots and just walk around and walk around the camera and do those sorts of things without actually hanging onto the camera. It's also good for night photography if we want to take some pictures of the sky, because the camera can sit quite still on it and just do its thing into the night sky. The other one that we use, or another one that we use, this is the Floaty. I use this generally when we're in the water, because this one actually floats in the water, and when it does float, this end comes up, you see a little orange bob just bobbing above the water if you ever drop the camera into the water. But it does come with a wrist strap on it, so I always use that just to make sure that it doesn't come off. And the other handle that we use, and I'll have to cut in a photo of it as well, some pictures of it as well, is the Volta handle, which is currently connected to our GoPro 11. It's actually battery charged, and it can be Bluetooth to the camera, so you can do all of your camera actions like starting your camera and roll, take photos, and all those sorts of things from a small button on the side. And the other thing that it does is it places a charge back into the camera, so that alleviates or eliminates the need for a second battery with our GoPro 11 for us, because the Volta keeps it charged the whole day when we're using it. So they're both pretty good. Sound gear, we get a lot of questions on the sound gear that we use, because one of the hardest things to record with or record in is when you get the really strong winds outside. So we try and do the best that we can all of the time, but sometimes we even struggle because the winds are just too strong. But we use the Rode wireless mics. So this is the go-to. So this is the receiver for it, and these are the two microphones. We just wear one of these on our collar when we're out and about and talking, and we just use these little dead cats, I think they're called. They come on the end, and they muffle or almost muffle out a lot of the wind noise and other background noise that you get. So they're always really good to use. And the last thing that we use, and this is for all our aerial stuff, is we use a drone. This is the DJI Air 2S. I find this to be an absolutely fantastic drone. I've set it so that it doesn't bump into trees and all those sorts of things, well, as best as I can, that I don't bump into trees. That's not saying that I haven't stacked it, because I have, but they're a very expensive piece of kit, so you tend to try not to stack it. So yeah, that's really good. We do all of our aerial stuff with that. We also use this to take some photos. So we do some photos, and I'll cut a couple in that we've taken of the caravan and sunsets and all that sort of stuff, all taken from the drone. So that's fantastic. So that is all of the camera gear that Ali and I use to produce the YouTube videos that we make every week. But to produce those videos, I need some editing software, and I need something to edit it on. I couldn't afford a $3,000 or a $4,000 or a $5,000 computer and all of the software that's required for that. So all I use is my iPad. And on the iPad, I have an app which is iMovie, and I'll cut in some pictures and show you exactly how I do all this very, very soon. But I found this to be very cost effective, very, very easy to use, and it produces a pretty good quality video that I can put up onto YouTube every week. All right, editing. Every week I allocate some time towards editing. Now, once again, while I was doing my research for, you know, what I need to do to put together a YouTube channel, I saw so many people online from all over the world who were saying, you know, they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're uploading footage, and they're doing this, and they're running this into timelines, and then they're out shooting from dusk till dawn every day, and then they're back of a night working till like 10 o'clock, and it's a 50 to 60 hour job a week. And I thought, that ain't going to work for me. We are doing a big lap of Australia. I want to get out and I want to enjoy that. How can I cut that down? And to be very honest with you, the videos that you watch every week, they take me between about 4 to 5 hours to put in, edit, save, do all the things that we do, upload, all done. And that's all I have to do, because you don't need to commit your life to it, because if you commit your life to your YouTube editing, then you're never ever going to see Australia, because you'll be forever in your caravan trying to work it out. So I like to keep it really simple. And on here I have an app, so I'm just going to get Ali to come around the back. So the app that I use is the iMovie app. You can get this for free out of the App Store. So I'll just open it up. When you open it up, you can see I've got a couple of projects here that I've been working on. So I'm just going to crack one of those open now. So just open that one. And this is an episode that's coming up, in fact, this Saturday. And then all I need to do to edit it is just push the edit button. And there it is. And then everything I've laid in at the moment that'll come up on the video that you see is already in there. And you can see I don't need a mouse or anything for this. I just use my finger to do it all. But if I want to make an edit or add some video to it, all I need to do is just hit the video button, select what video I want, scroll through until I find the actual piece of footage I want to put in, and I'll just grab any piece here, hit it, and hit the plus button, and it falls straight into the timeline. And then all I need to do is just edit that from the timeline and add it into the video. And over the course of a couple of hours, I'm able to put together a video that flows. But if you want to check your flow as you go through, you just push play. It's really that simple. If I want to add some audio to the video, all I do is push the audio button, hit soundtracks, and then all of the audio that's supplied through the app will appear up here in the top right hand corner of your screen. All of this is supposedly license free, but when you go to load it up on your YouTube channel, sometimes you'll get a bit of a copyright, not a copyright strike. YouTube don't tend to do that as much anymore. What they do now is they just say, you've got some copyright material in there, here's an opportunity to remove it, so you can still post your video, no harm, no foul. So it's pretty easy to work with, but you can go through, there's plenty of different sorts of musics and themes and things that you can pick to set in behind your video. I try not to put a lot of music in behind our videos, because we'd rather the content rather than you sitting down watching hours and hours of someone playing a piano. So that's the way I create a video every week. Normally it's not exactly like this. Normally I'm sitting outside somewhere, I've got a beer next to me and just watching a sunset or something like that. As I said before, I do spend about 4 to 5 hours a week creating the video and preparing it to upload for YouTube. But I don't do that in a 4 or 5 hour spurt. I'll just say to Alison some days after dinner, look, I'm going to spend an hour on the video, or she might be doing a little bit of work, so I'll just go and sit outside quietly and just do those sorts of things. But it comes together quite easily. And as I said, and I'll reinforce, don't let the YouTube video overtake your life. Put up a product that you are happy with and present that. And if everyone else is happy with it, you'll see the likes come up in your like column. All right, I've retreated into the car to shoot the final part of today's episode. Ellie and I have been sitting up in Darwin for the past couple of weeks, and it's been very, very warm up there. But we've come about 500 kilometres south now, and the temperature's dropped. There's a southerly blowing, and it's bloody cold outside. But I can't go into the caravan because Ellie's doing some work inside. So I'll finish it all up out here in the car. Rightio. My final thoughts on today's episode. Look, if you want to become a YouTuber, pull the mobile phone out of your back pocket, make sure that you've got access to the internet, shoot yourself a couple of little videos, piece them together through a simple app like iMovie, like I use, and then upload them to YouTube, and away you go from there. Don't be discouraged at the start. It takes a little while to get a bit of a subscriber base going, but after a while you'll see that people become interested in your channel. The key is consistency. You need to place your videos up at about the same time every week, and then you start to roll into that algorithm with YouTube, and you start to get more and more views into your channel. And it's a very, very rewarding thing. I can remember back at the start, I used to butt my head against the wall and I'd say to Alison, you know, like, it took me all of this time to put this video together this week. I've thrown it up on YouTube and 18 people have watched it. But you've got to get through that and persist and persist and persist. And then eventually you'll find your audience. And we absolutely love ours. We get some great feedback. We get plenty of questions every week. We meet people out in different areas around Australia where we've been who recognise us from YouTube, and we always got time to kick back and chat. It's a great lifestyle. It's a great hobby to have when you're travelling around Australia, because it occupies a part of your time. But don't let it overtake your holiday. The last thing you want to do is be a slave to YouTube. As I said to you before, we shoot our videos just while we're out and we're travelling around for the day. They don't interfere with what we're doing. We don't line up for 1,000 takes of the same thing to get the perfect shot. And then I spend about 4 to 5 hours in editing every week, and then I just upload it through our Starlink. Doesn't matter where we are in the country, to put those videos up at 9 o'clock every Saturday for you guys to watch. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions about anything that I've gone over, any of the gear that we use that you'd like a little bit more information on, please hit me up in the comments section. Hit the like button if you liked it. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel, because it really helps our channel grow. Anyway, you have yourself a great rest of the week. I'm going to see you Saturday at 9 o'clock for our normal vlog. And I think this week we're getting a little bit closer to Mount Isa. Anyway, have a great week. I'll see you Saturday.